Now I will tell you what I've done for you. 50,000 tears I've cried.
Hi, my name is Michelle.
And I'm Christina.
For the last 3 months, you have heard the tragic story of the oil spill that is affecting the beautiful coast of Mexico. Most of you have seen news reports, pictures, and/or have even seen a first-hand experience of this event. For some, it can be hard to grasp exactly why the oil spill is such a big deal.
In this lesson, we will observe the effect oil has on water and birds, specifically on their feathers. Then we will discuss which cleaning method works the best. First, let's look at what happens when oil is added to water. Here we have some plain tap water, warm, and here we have a little mixture of vegetable oil and cocoa powder, which will make it show up a little more easier. I'm just going to spoon it in. And quickly we see globs of oil coming to the surface and dispersing or spreading out far. Now I'll show exactly what we saw. See how it quickly turns into little bubbles or little balls at the bottom? Then it comes straight up and becomes more evenly coated. If you add a little wave to it, shake it up a little bit, they become smaller balls, but they keep floating. This is what happens when the current is moving, or if there's wind, just holding the surface of the water. The oil will move the same direction as the current or the wind. Now we will look at some pictures of the Gulf Coast. Now that we've seen how oil reacts in water, let's focus on oil and how it affects the birds, specifically their feathers. First, let's answer a few questions. What kinds of water birds can you think of? Some of the answers you should have wrote include ducks, geese, gulls, puffins, other types of waterfowl, or other types of seabirds. Next, what kind of things do birds do in water? You should have said swim, dive, fly, feed, migrate, and breed. What do feathers do for water birds? Feathers keep the birds warm, provide waterproofing, and help them fly. Now we will look at how oil affects feathers. Here we have a mixture of oil, cocoa powder to make the oil show up, and warm water. We will dip a feather in to show exactly what happens. Here's a regular feather. You dip it in. And that's what you get. Here's another one. Birds end up in the water for feeding, and the oil gets on their feathers that touch the water, and especially those that actually dive into water to catch fish or other prey. Now let's talk what we see. What happened to the feathers when they got oiled? You should see that they got soggy, matted, and have gotten heavier. How do you think this might affect a water bird wearing these feathers? Oil makes it hard for the bird to stay warm, makes the bird less waterproof, and is toxic. Oil is toxic and it can be poisonous if the bird ingests it when it's trying to clean its feathers. Now we will try to clean the feathers.
All right, let's start with the first feather, and this first mixture is just plain cold water. And let's see how this works on cleaning the feather that we dipped in oil. All right, let's look at that. Doesn't look like it got too much off. Okay, got some off, but we still see traces of it. All right, our next mixture we're going to try is just warm water. Here's our feather that we dipped in our oil mixture earlier. Just wipe some of that off. Okay, got some, but not all. All right, our last mixture that we're going to try is warm water with some dish detergent added in it. Here's our feather that we dipped in oil. Let's look at that now. Spread some of the feathers out so you can see. Okay, let's look at all of our feathers together. We have the one that was just used in cold water only. Here's one that was used in warm water only. And then here's our one that we used with warm water and dish detergent.
Now that we've seen what happens, which method works the best? And then imagine that you are washing a real live bird. The hot water and detergent was the best way to clean the oil from these feathers. However, when a live bird is coated with oil, it becomes weak and unable to regulate its body temperature. Placing a living bird, in a warm water may be dangerous. It could kill it. Instead, birds should be placed in an ambient temperature, the same temperature as the environment around the bird. After the birds have been washed, they must be kept in a warm building to recover from their ordeal.
Now I will tell you what I've done for you. 50,000 tears I've cried.